All right. So let's get started with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashrayata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So let's look into another Krishna Katha today. So what I was thinking was, we will go through the story of Syamantaka Jewel, and so maybe we can get started with that story, and then we will slowly understand the pastime as well, the reasons behind and what our acharyas actually say about the story. So we will get into that story today. Are you all okay with that? Can we delve into the pastime of Syamantaka Jewel?
Yes, Mataji.
I don't hear anybody.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Mukund, I see you are here. Okay, good. Okay, we can get started now. Okay, the Syamantaka Jewel episode. So Maharaj Parikshit, he asked Satrajit, right? Why did Parikshit Maharaj is asking, not Satrajit, he's asking, oh Brahmana, what did King Satrajit do to offend Lord Krishna? Where did he actually get the Syamantaka jewel from? And why did he give it to the daughter? Why did he give his daughter to the Supreme Lord? His daughter, Satrajit's daughter, was Satyabhama. So Satyabhama, why was he given to Lord Krishna? Can you please explain me? He asked 3 questions. What are the 3 questions? What did Satyajit do to offend Lord Krishna? And where did he get the Syamantaka jewel? And why did he give his daughter Satyabhama to the Supreme Lord? So these are the questions he's asking. And so now Sukadeva Goswami, he's saying, Surya, the sun god, actually felt great affection for this devotee named Satrajit. And he was acting as his greatest friend and the demigod. What did he do? He gave the jewel called Syamantaka as a token of satisfaction. So this is what he did. Surya, out of his great affection towards the devotee Satrajit, he gave a great gift. What is that gift? That jewel is Syamantaka. And so he was definitely very, very appreciative of his austerities. And because of that, the Surya Dev actually presented this to Satrajit. And Satrajit, he is a respectful devotee of the Lord, and Lord treated him affectionately as his best friend. So wearing the jewel on the neck, Satrajit actually entered Dwaraka. He shone as brightly as the sun, effulgent. He was so effulgent when he entered Dwaraka. And so nobody, he actually went unrecognized because the jewel's effulgence was so much that nobody could recognize him. The citizens there in Dwaraka, they mistook him for sun god because of that effulgence that was seen in the neck of Satrajit. That was shining so brightly. Oh, sun god has come. Sun god has come. So that is how they started to perceive. And as people looked at Satrajit from a distance, his brilliance actually blinded them. They presumed he was sun god Surya and went to tell Lord Krishna, who was playing dice at that time. So they went and told Krishna, oh, there is a sun god who has come into this place, Dwaraka. Oh, Krishna, please look at him. And the residents of Dwaraka, they paid obeisances unto Lord Krishna, the beholder of disc and conch. And they said, oh, king descendant of Yadu. Like that, they addressed him. And Krishna, what was he doing? He was absorbed in playing dice game. This was the scenario. So Lord Savita has come to see you. Oh Lord of the universe, he is blinding everyone's eyes with this intensely effulgent rays. And so this is what they said. Oh, sun god has come and he's blinding everyone with this effulgent rays. And so please look at him. The most exalted demigods in the three worlds are certainly anxious to see you out. O Lord, now that you have hidden yourself among the Yadu dynasty, thus the unborn sun god has come to see you here. So here our Acharya say, Krishna, he's the Lord of all lords, and these people are addressing to Krishna as if somebody like sun god has come to see Krishna, when in fact he was not the sun god. And Sukadev Goswami, he continued and he said, these innocent words, the lotus-eyed Lord actually smiled and broadly said, what did he say? He said, this is not sun god, but rather he is Satrajit. He's glowing because of his jewel that is carried on his neck. That is the reason he's glowing in an effulgent way. And King Satrajit, he entered the opulent home and so he entered the opulent home. He had qualities of Brahmanas. He installed the Syamantaka jewel in the house's temple room. So where did he keep the Syamantaka jewel? He actually kept it in his house. In the temple room of his house, he actually kept it there. And now we are going to see what is this Syamantaka jewel capable of doing. So each day, this gem will produce 8 baras of gold. And the place in which it is kept, what happens to that place? That place will become free of all calamities such as famine, death, and also evils of the snake bites, physical disorders, mental disorders, and presence of deceitful persons. So this is what will happen whenever a Syamantaka jewel is placed in that particular place. So now Satrajit has this in his home, and he keeps it in his temple room, and this Syamantaka jewel is capable of producing 8 baras of gold. And what happens to such a kind of place when this kept in a particular place, that particular area, it becomes free from calamities such as famine, ultimately untimely death, even from snake bites and all that. You can be saved. You can be saved from mental and physical disorders. And so this is the scenario. So now, what does this mean? 8 baras of gold. That means it is capable of producing ultimately like 170 pounds of gold every day. And so wherever this jewel is there, untimely death will not occur there. Okay, suddenly something untimely, some snake bite, and this person died. Suddenly something happens, this person died. Like that, no sudden incidents of death will happen whenever a jewel is placed in that particular place. Now Krishna, he's requesting Satrajit. What, Satrajit, you have to give this jewel to Yadu king, Ugrasena. But Satrajit, was he ready to do that? No, he was greedy and he refused. He gave no thought to the seriousness of the offense that he committed by denying Lord's request. He actually committed an offense because he denied to the order of the Supreme Lord. Krishna, he asked Satrajit to donate this jewel to the treasury of Ugrasena. Why? Because obviously when king has it, he will use the gold to the citizens. He will make sure that the citizens are taken care of properly. Whoever is in need of wealth, it will be donated to that appropriate person. So it is like giving it to a government. Whenever you find some treasure, you have to give it to the government. But instead, if you keep it to yourself, what is the point? It may be used for their own self gratification, right? So that is why the Lord wanted it to go to others, that is specifically King Ugrasena, so that he can use it for the benefit of the kingdom. So by not offering the jewel to Krishna, but enjoying to him instead that object, which had the power to remove all misfortune, he would then become the cause of all misfortune. See, he wants to have no misfortune, but misfortune is going to come to him because of this reason. Because of the offense that he has committed to Lord Krishna, misfortune is going to come. This is the understanding that our acharyas give. How much more this is so then when even though Krishna himself was requesting it for King Ugrasena, still Satrajit refused to offer it to him. So this is the scenario. He committed an offense. And now what happened was Satrajit's brother Prashena, what did he do? he actually took this jewel out and he started to mount it on his neck. He had hung it on his neck, and then he mounted a horse and went hunting in the forest. One day, one of those days, Satyajit's brother Prashena, he actually took that Syamantaka jewel, and what did he do? He hung it around his neck and he mounted it on a horse, and then he went hunting to the forest. Now, there is going to be a turn of events that is going to happen. Let's understand what. A lion king, Prashena, and his horse took the jewel, but the lion entered the mountain cave. He was killed by Jambavan, who wanted this jewel. So what happened to Prashena? Prashena was killed by the lion, and this lion was attacked by Jambavan because he wanted the jewel. So this is the scenario that happened. Okay, are you all able to understand so far, kids? What happened? What is the scenario? Who's Satyajit? And what is Krishna asking to do Satyajit? And what is Satyajit's proposal? How did he offend the Lord? Did you all understand it so far?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, let's get into the story then. Now Prashena is killed because of the lion, and Jambavan actually killed the lion which entered the cave, and he took the jewel. Okay, the jewel, Syamantaka jewel, is with Jambavan. Okay. Meanwhile, in the cave, Jambavan let this young son have the Syamantaka jewel as a toy to play with. Let him play with this. Let him enjoy. And meanwhile, Satyajit, he was not seeing his brothers. He was looking for his brother Prashena, and he became deeply troubled. Oh my God, where is my brother? He took my Syamantaka jewel. What happened to him? I'm not seeing him anywhere close in the vicinity. So he was getting...
Mataji?
Yeah.
Did Satyajit only really care about Prashena because he had the jewel?
He was caring about both, okay? In the sense, some things, whichever you are attached to, you will care about that more. And in this case, he was so closely attached to Syamantaka jewel, and he allowed his brother to take it for a reason, because he is maybe attached to his brother also. That reason is not quoted by our acharyas here. But then it is a presumption that that's why he probably allowed him to take it. So we need to understand, that he was getting anxious for both maybe, okay? Very good question, Aditya. And now within the cave, what is happening? Jambavan's son is playing with this Syamantaka jewel. And so he, see, here it is very much clearly quoted to your point, Aditya. Satyajit, not clearly seeing his brother return, he became deeply troubled. So he is troubled because of his brother not coming. Again, he's also making some assumptions here. He's saying, Krishna probably killed my brother who went to the forest wearing the jewel on his neck. This is what I think. Krishna probably killed my brother. And for what reason? For the Syamantaka jewel. Because he asked me to submit this Syamantaka jewel to Ugrasena. I did not do that. And by that, I did not agree to Krishna's proposal. So Krishna, in turn, he has jotted out a plan, and he killed my brother and took away the Syamantaka jewel from him. So now, when he made this statement, this statement actually spread like a rumor. Oh, really? Oh, really? Is that the case? Is that the case? All of them started to spread this rumor of about Krishna. This is the evil nature of this world, right? Those people who have the similar evil nature, then what will they do? They will also gossip. They will also spread such rumors. But devotees of the Lord, they know we should not be involved in such criticism and such kind of acts. So they will probably forbid from spreading some rumors which are unknown to them. That is the learning. So when Lord Krishna, he heard this rumor, he wanted to obviously remove the stain on his reputation, right? Who would want to have stain connected to their name? So he took some Dwarakavasis with him, and he set out to the path where Prashena actually went. He just retraced the path of Prashena. Let me go through the path that Prashena happened to go. Let me track that path, because I need to remove the stain connected with my name, and so that my reputation can be brought back. So for that, I need to do this. So in the forest, even these type of things happen to Lord Krishna. What about ourselves? Oh, you told this in front of somebody. You degraded me. You said something like this to somebody, and because of that, my name is spoiled. we complain like this so many times, right? Oh, my friend happened to say this about me to somebody else. And so if this happens to Krishna, this can happen to anybody else. As much as possible, we have to have a clean slate. There should be no such faults that should be looked upon by others. But if there is a fault, if that is genuinely a fault of yours, we should try to correct it. If there is no fault associated, then we should try to prove to the world that obviously it's not my fault. Okay, but we should not start pointing fingers at others. This is you're my cause, you're this cause, you're the reason for why I'm like this. No, we just have, it happened, whatever happened. We just have to move on. But at the same time, if you are genuinely not performing that particular act, if you have to clarify to the world, then you can clarify, but never point fingers at others. But if you're not at fault, then no problem. Obviously, the world will look upon you as a great person. But if you are committed that fault, you accept it and always repent about it, and make sure that in the future you don't do such an act. Now in the forest, what happened? They found Prashena. Now Krishna, he happened to see Prashena and his horse. Both were killed by the lion. And further on, the lion was dead on the mountainside. So he went, he went inside the mountain to see what was inside the cave, to see what was going on. He asked the Dwarkavasis, you remain here. I will go into this pitch dark cave and I will enter alone. I have no problem, but you all stay here. Like that, he happened to go into the cave, entered the cave alone. And Lord Krishna, he saw the most precious of jewels, that is Syamantaka jewel, that had been made into a child's plaything. The child was actually playing with that, and Krishna was looking into that. Determined to take it away, he approached the child. We want to take it away from the child, so he approached the child. So the child's nurse, who was this particular son of Jambavan, was taken care of by the nurse, and the nurse actually started to cry out in fear upon seeing this extraordinary person, Lord Krishna, standing before them. And Jambavan, who is the strongest of the strongest, heard these cries and angrily ran towards the Lord. Oh my God, my nurse is crying out, so there must be some danger. I have to go and rush into this place to see what is going on. So he rushed into that place. The nurse cried in fear, meaning it implies that she did not even see Krishna's intention to take away the gel. In actuality, she was not afraid, since ecstasy arose in her as a natural effect of seeing Krishna. This is what our acharyas comment. Our acharya say, this nurse, she was not even bothered about the intention of Krishna actually taking away the jewel from the hands of this child. But then out of ecstasy of seeing Lord Krishna, she actually became like that. Okay, she cried out. And now, unaware of his true position and thinking him to be an ordinary man, Jambavan thought, oh, Krishna is not, the Yogamaya potency of the Lord covered Jambavan to think him as an ordinary man. This is what happened. And because of this, Jambavan, he thought, oh, Krishna is an ordinary man. And he angrily started to fight with the Supreme Lord, the master of all worlds. Are you able to understand? What happened was Krishna's Yogamaya potency, it covered who? Jambavan. To know that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Instead, this Maya potency, Yogamaya potency, actually made him think that he is an ordinary person. And that is why that is when they started to fight. Then what happened was the two of them, they fought furiously, and each of them was determined to win. Nobody wanted to lose control, and contending against each other with various weapons, with stones, tree trunks, and finally with their bare arms, they struggled to fight. They fought like two hawks fighting for flesh. Imagine there are two hawks, each of them want to fight for flesh. Nobody would want to give up, right? Both of them were determined in this case, both Krishna and Jambavan. So the fight went on without rest for how many days? For 28 days. The two opponents, they were striking each other with their fists. They were doing this and this and this. The two opponents, they were striking each other with their fists. They fought continuously for how many days? 28 days and nights without even a moment's rest. Not even a moment they were able to rest. So this is what is the scenario. Then what happened? Let's see. As Jambavan's huge muscles were being beaten by Krishna, he considered, oh, who can be stronger than except my Lord Ram? Remembering those old thoughts, remember Jambavan? Jambavan was the one who actually made Hanuman realize his powers. He knows the powers of Hanuman have come from Lord Ram. And now when he is being stricken by the Lord, he was thinking, oh, this is actually paining me. Who can cause pain to me? I am stronger than the strongest, but somebody is able to cause pain to me. Who can be more stronger than me? It can be none other than Lord Ram. So this was what he remembered. Remembering the old thought, Jambavan, he became very, very astonished and concluded that this must be Lord. This can be nobody else but my Lord. My Lord Ram, he can be nobody else. How can somebody hit me so strong that I can feel the pain? So this is my Lord. This is what he concluded. And Jambavan said, I know now that you are my life air and sensory, mental and bodily strength of all living beings. You are nothing but Lord Vishnu, the original person, the supreme Lord, all powerful controller. Then he's saying, you're the ultimate creator of the universe. You created everything. And you are the super soul in everybody's hearts. And you're the soul of all the souls. So so he started to glorify Lord Krishna. See, he's glorifying. Since he started to know he is the supreme Lord, he began glorification by saying some prayers to the Lord. So this is what happened. And now Sukadev Goswami is continuing. O king, Krishna then addressed the king of the bears, who is Jambavan. He actually understood the truth. What is the truth? The one you're fighting with is the absolute truth, the cause of all causes. The lotus-eyed personality of Lord Godhead, the son of Devaki, he touched, what did Krishna do to Jambavan? So he touched Jambavan with his hand. Okay, what does it symbolize? It bestows all blessings to Jambavan and spoke to his devotee Jambavan with compassion. With sublime compassion, he spoke to Jambavan. So this is what happened. Because obviously we see that the devotee had bodily pains. Jambavan, in this case, his body was paining. And then only he realized that who can be stronger than me? It is only Lord Ram. Because his body was paining, he touched him with his hand so that his bodily pains, he can be relieved from his bodily pains. This is the understanding our acharyas give. Okay? And then moving on, Krishna said, many of us came to the entrance of this cave and I have entered in order to dispel false rumors about me. See, people are telling that I actually killed Trashena, who's brother of Satrajit, and took away this Syamantaka jewel from him. But in reality, he was killed by a snake. Sorry, he was killed by a lion. This is the scenario. And people are spreading false rumors about me. So I've come here to take this jewel and tell them that this is not what had happened. Thus, Jambavan, what did he do in response to Krishna's Krishna told him there are false accusations about him, and I just have to dispel the false rumors about me, and that is the reason why I have come to pick up this jewel. Immediately, Jambavan, he honored Krishna by offering his maiden daughter Jambavati together along with this jewel. So Syamantaka jewel as well as his daughter Jambavati was given to Lord Krishna. So this is the understanding. And then what happened? After that, Lord Krishna had, people in Dwaraka, they didn't enter the cave. They waited there for 12 days. After 12 days, they were like, oh my God, Krishna is not coming. And finally, they gave up and turned to the city with great sorrow, thinking that, oh Krishna, something happened to him maybe. So like that. When Devaki, Rukmini Devi, Vasudeva and other relatives and friends heard that he was not coming out of the cave, he didn't come out of the cave, they all started to lament. They all started to feel the misery. They all started to get that pain in them. And they started to curse, some people started to curse Satyajit, the sorrowful residents of Dwaraka. They started to curse Satyajit, and they approached the Durga deity named Chandrabhaga and prayed to her for Krishna's return. So they prayed to which demigod? Chandrabhaga. Okay. Again, so when the citizens had finished worshipping the demigods, she spoke to them in response, promising to grant their request. The demigod Chandrabhaga, she also spoke in response to the prayers of the citizens, that she will actually grant the wish of the citizens. They wanted Krishna to come back, and that was their wish. And obviously, Krishna's return is what the residents of Dwaraka wanted. And here, the Durga Devi here, she responded saying, Krishna will return, don't worry. Then Lord Krishna, at that time, Lord Krishna, he achieved his purpose and then came before them with his new wife. And this actually filled the residents of Dwaraka with great joy. Looking upon Krishna with his new wife, they all felt so relieved that Krishna is back to the Dwaraka city. The Dwarakavasi finished worshipping Devi. She gave a blessing that you will definitely see Krishna. And after that, Krishna, he appeared in front of them with his wife, Jambavati. So after that, they all became very, very happy and very, very cheerful upon seeing the Lord. So seeing Rishikesha return as if from the death, accompanied by his new wife and wearing the Syamantaka jewel around his neck, all the people, they were filled with jubilation. Not only they saw Krishna's return, not only they saw his new wife, but he was also wearing Syamantaka jewel on him around his neck. And this brought so much happiness to the citizens of Dwaraka. Okay. And Krishna was wearing this jewel which Jambavan has placed on his neck when offering his daughter in marriage. Krishna, he summoned this Samantaka jewel to Satyajit in the royal assembly. Okay, what did he do? He summoned that. And there in the presence of King Ugrasena, Krishna announced the recovery of this jewel and formally he gave this to Satyajit in the royal assembly. Now what happened? What is the position of Satyajit? Satyajit was hanging his head down. He was greatly in shame. And Satyajit took this gem and returned home all the while, but he was feeling remorse for his sinful behavior. He was feeling so sad. Why did I commit such a big mistake of pointing out that Krishna was the one who actually killed it? Krishna was the one who killed my brother and then he took this jewel. Why did I do such a thing? Like that, he was repenting to himself for his offensive behavior. Now, pondering over his grievous offense and worried about the possibility of conflict with the Lord's mighty devotees, King Satyajit thought, how can I cleanse myself of this contamination? What can I do? How I may be able to, how will Krishna be satisfied with me? What can I do to regain my good fortune and avoid being cursed by these foolish people who are here in Dwaraka? What I will do is, I have a plan. I'm going to do this. What am I going to do? I'm going to give my daughter, the jewel of all women, to the Lord together with this Syamantaka jewel as an offering to him. That is the only way I can pacify the Lord. No other way I can pacify the Lord. Satyajit, he was obviously repenting about the offense that he has committed towards the Lord. And because of this offense that he has created, he was devising a plan as to how he can pacify the Lord. And then after that, he came up with a plan of giving his daughter, and his daughter's name is Satyabhama, along with this Syamantaka jewel. This is the plan he devised in order to pacify who? The Lord of all Lords, Krishna. Having thus intelligently making up his mind, King Satyajit, he personally arranged to present Krishna with his fair daughter and the Syamantaka jewel. And now what happened? The Lord married Satyabhama in a very religious fashion. She possessed excellent behavior along with her beauty and broad-mindedness and all other good qualities. She has been sought after by many men also. This way, she was very, very she was having a lot of good, I mean, obviously she's the goddess of fortune, so she has the good qualities, and she was presented to the Lord. She was sought after by many men. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, what did he tell Kshatrajit? I don't care for this jewel. I'm going to return this jewel back to you. You are the sun god's devotee, so you can stay with this possession. And you also enjoy the benefits that come with it. So I'm not going to be taking that. But, you presented your daughter Satyabhama, who is your greatest treasure. And now that treasure, your treasure has become my treasure. She is mine. I will take Satyabhama. This is my proposal to you. Did you understand? So here Satyajit, he was presenting his daughter Satyabhama and Syamantaka jewel to who? To the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord said, no, you take the jewel back. You are the sun god's devotee. Let it be in your possession. You enjoy the benefits. And you have presented me with your great treasure. Satyabhama is your great treasure. And now that treasure of yours has become mine. This is the understanding our acharyas give. And with this, the Syamantaka jewel episode concludes. And now what I'm thinking is I'll just go through some questions with you, and then we can go to the next chapter, which is also a beautiful story. Satyajit murdered and the jewel returned. So we will see that story in a little bit. Now we can have a question and answer session, so we can see how far you've understood this episode. Is that okay? Haribol? Or do you want to share your realizations? I'm okay with either way. I'm okay.
Yeah, anything's fine.
Okay. All right. So let me ask the first question. Who was Satyajit? How did he get the jewel? How did he actually
Mataji, I wasn't in the call when you were talking about the beginning, like the very beginning.
Okay, he got the jewel from Sun God. Okay, Sun God was the one who gave him because of the austerities he's performed. The Sun God was pleased because his devotee did so much that he presented him with this Syamantaka jewel. And that is how he got it. Okay, and what did he do with it? Anybody wants to say what did he do with the Syamantaka jewel? What happens? What happens to someone who keeps the jewel in their house? There are so many benefits of this Syamantaka jewel that we described, right? Can somebody tell me what happened and what are the benefits of keeping this Syamantaka jewel? Why did Satyajit want to keep it in his house? What was Krishna's proposal? Does Shreya want to say?
Krishna said that the jewel must be used for the well-being of the citizens, and instead of just keeping it to yourself, because it's like I'm doing for the government and for the benefit of the citizens.
Correct. Beautiful. You just told whatever I told in the class. Yes. Like how government, whenever something is like this, if it's going to benefit the citizens of the country, then why not we give it to everybody's, why not we give it to the government so everybody can benefit? Like that, if you give it to the king Ugrasena, everybody can benefit, right? And why do you have to use it for your own sense gratification instead? So let this be presented to Ugrasena. This was the proposal that Krishna made. And what about Satyajit? Did he agree to Krishna's proposal? Why or why not?
No, Mataji, he did not agree because he was too greedy to keep the stuff to himself.
Correct. He was very greedy to keep it within himself. He was not ready to let go of that jewel. And that way he's committing an offense, right? And he's thinking if this Syamantaka jewel is there, it will not create any misfortune to him. But all misfortune is going to come to him because of him not letting go of that Syamantaka jewel. Okay, that is the understanding. Very good. And what else? So what happened? What happened with the brother Prashena? Asara, can you elaborate on that?
Yes, Mataji. So I think Krishna, he went into the woods, right? And
Correct.
he was carrying the jewels around, his brother's jewel around, and it was so bright and shiny. And then while he was wandering in the woods, sorry, there's a thunderstorm outside. While he was wandering in the woods, it was a lion that came? A lion or
Yes,
tiger?
lion.
Yes,
Yes,
a lion.
lion.
And the lion came and he was like, I think he disturbed the lion. The lion got mad, killed him, and took the jewel. And then from there, Jambavat found the jewel. He killed the lion, took it back for his son to play with.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your attentive listening. That was exactly what happened with Prashina. Now coming back, what was the rumor that was spread in the city? Karthik? What was the rumor that is going on? Okay, I don't hear from Karthik. Ankit?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, the rumor was that Satyajit was spreading the rumor that Krishna had killed his brother Krishna and took away the Syamantaka jewel.
And who first told that rumor? Who was the one who spread that rumor?
Oh, sorry, Mataji,
Satyajit. Satyajit started off, and then they just, all the evil people then started to spread the rumors around in the Dwaraka city. And what did...
Mataji, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, Mataji, Jambavan is a devotee, right?
Yes, Jambavan is devotee of Lord Ram. Remember from Ramayana, Jambavan was the one who actually made Hanuman remember about the strength. He was like, oh, can I cross this ocean? I mean, I don't think I have the capability to do. And then at that time, Jambavan was the one who said, oh, you have this power. You have this power. You have forgotten about your powers. But now I say you have these powers. You just try and see. And then Hanuman tried, and he could, do this jump, big leaps. And this power was actually coming from Lord Ram. And Jambavan was the one who reminded Hanuman of his powers. So from this is the same Jambavan, and he knows. As I told you, his remembrance about Lord Ram was concealed by the Yogamaya potency of the Lord, because of which he was not able to recognize Krishna as the Supreme Lord, and because of that he considered him as a mere mortal. And
why
started
did the
to
Lord
fight with
cover Jambavan with his Yogamaya potency?
Yes, it's the Yogamaya potency of the Lord, internal potency of the Lord.
Why did the Lord cover Jambavan with his potency? Why? Because he was a devotee. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord says that he covers himself with Yogamaya to those who are atheistic, those who are envious.
No. That is the Mahamaya potency. So if so there are two kinds of potency. One is the Yogamaya potency, another is the Mahamaya potency. If the relationship with Krishna has to become close, if Krishna wants to enhance the pastime, enhance the closeness to him, then he covers the particular person with that Yogamaya potency. But if Krishna, he wants to detach with the person, or he doesn't want his potency to be revealed to a person, I mean, if he wants that person to go away from Krishna, then Mahamaya comes into play. So for closeness to Krishna, you have Yogamaya potency. For going far away from Krishna, you have Mahamaya potency. Okay?
So was Lord
and
Krishna
here in this scenario, Jambavan, he wants to increase the closeness with him.
Okay.
And that is the reason. He wants, see, what happens is now he forgot that he is the Supreme Lord, and he's enjoying the Virya Ras, right? Jambavan has got this Virya, power. If he knows he's the Lord, he will not fight with him. He will not use his power to fight, right? He will be saying, oh, Supreme Lord, I cannot fight with you. Whatever you say, I'm fine. Like that, it will go. But instead, he is making this pastime even more enticing by doing this act. He wants his devotee to exhibit his Virya Rasa, full strength. He wants him to fight with his full strength. And that way, he's enjoying that Virya Rasa of his devotee. You understand? Haribol?
Yeah,
Wonderful question, dear. And then, Karthik, are you on, dear? Mukund, are you on? I don't know. I heard your voice initially, but not now. Okay. So now maybe we can get into another story. I don't know. We have some 10 minutes. I don't think we can do justice by completing the story as such, but maybe next class we can continue from wherever we left. Do you think we can go ahead and do this Satrajit murdered and the jewel returned, which is 57th chapter of Canto 10? Can we do that? Can we get started? Maybe a little bit, and then we can pause after the 10 minutes time slot. Is that okay, kids? Are you okay, or you
Yes,
want to go?
Mataji.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay. So now, so there is this chapter, Satrajit is murdered. And we know Satrajit, he had the Syamantaka jewel, right? He is going to be murdered in this episode. And we are going to understand what was this all about. Now, Akrura and Kritavarma, they went to Satadhanva. You may ask, who is this guy Satadhanva? And Satadhanva, Satyabhama was actually promised to Satadhanva. Okay, so he was also one of those people who wanted Satyabhama to be married to him. But of course, we understood that Satyajit actually gave his daughter Satyabhama to Krishna. And now this Akrura and Kritavarma, they are going to Satadhanva and saying, why not you take this Syamantaka jewel? Why don't you do this? So you can actually, what you can do is you can kill Satyajit and you can take this Syamantaka jewel from him. Satyajit, he actually promised his daughter to be given to you, but Krishna instead took him. So why should Satyajit not follow? I mean, the thing is, why don't you take that jewel? Because he promised you Satyabhama, he didn't give Satyabhama to you. Instead, he gave it to Krishna. So now, why don't you at least take the Syamantaka jewel? So these people, they are instigating Satadhanva to kill Satyajit. Okay. So now, this guy Akrura and Kritavarma, they are all devotees of the Lord, right? They were furious because Satyajit had insulted Krishna and he had spread false rumors about him false rumors about him in Dwaraka. And that is the reason they are instigating Satadhanva to kill Satyajit. Are you able to understand, kids? It's a little bit tricky part, but I want you to understand. Are you in line with me? Who's this guy Satadhanva? Satadhanva is one of those guys who wanted to marry Satyabhama, but of course we know the episode that Krishna actually gave Satyabhama to Krishna, because of which Satadhanva could not marry her. And taking advantage of this situation, the two devotees of the Lord, who are the two devotees? Akrura and Kritavarma. Both of them, they actually instigated Satadhanva to say, oh, you didn't get Satyabhama, why don't you at least get the Syamantaka jewel by trying to kill Satyajit? So this was the proposal they made. Okay. So with this mind confused by Akrura and Kritavarma, Satadhanva, out of greed for the jewel, Syamantaka jewel, he killed Satyajit. How did he kill him? When did he kill him? While he was sleeping, while he was fast asleep, he happened to kill him. Satadhanva was basically evil-minded and a firm hater of Satyajit. This is what is quoted by our acharyas. He's evil-minded person, and also he was a hater of Satyajit. Okay, as the woman of Satyajit's palace screamed and helplessly wept, Satadhanva took the jewel and left like a butcher after he has killed some animals. So now after killing this Satyajit, he actually left like a butcher who has killed some animals. And these women in the Satyajit's palace, they started to helplessly scream. And Satyabhama, she happened to see her dead father, because Satyajit is Satyabhama's father. And she also came into great grief. My father, oh, I'm killed. She felt unconscious. Satyabhama, we can understand how much a child actually loves the parent, right? And now we can clearly see in this case of Satyabhama also, Satyabhama loved her dear father. When she saw him dead, she could not bear, and she was lamenting in grief. And because of that lamentation, she also felt unconscious. And So now Satyabhama, she put her father's corpse in a large vat of oil and she went to Hastinapur and she sorrowfully told Krishna. He was already aware of the situation about father's murder, but Satyabhama was also wanting Krishna to show his grief, because obviously now that they are related, husband and wife, if a husband has a sorrow, wife will also feel sorrowful, right? And that is the nature. And here Satyabhama was encouraging Krishna to also appear and show some grief because she lost her father. And now, after hearing the words, Krishna and Balarama, they also actually shed tears, but somehow they were not real tears. As you can understand, they had some sort of animosity with Satyajit. So only when you're affectionate, you will have that real tears coming out of your eyes. Here are Acharya's quote that they were shedding tears, but it was not real tears. Okay. And Supreme Lord, he returned to his capital with his wife and elder brother Balaram. After appearing in Dwaraka, he then readied himself to kill Satadanva. So he wanted to retrieve the jewel from Satadanva. So this is the plan of the Lord. And now Kritavarma, now what happened was, upon hearing that Lord Krishna was coming to kill him, Satadanva was stuck with fear. He started to fear himself. To save his life, he's going to now approach Kritavarma and beg him for help. Kritavarma, please help me. I'm being stuck. I'm going to be killed by Krishna any moment. I'm looking for your help. Please save me. And Kritavarma, what did he respond? I dare not to offend the Supreme Lord, Lord Krishna and Balaram. I cannot offend them, right? How can I offend them? Kamsa and his followers, they lost their wealth and they lost their lives because of enmity towards Lord Krishna and Balaram. And Jarasandha, he was defeated by Krishna 17 times. He was even left without a chariot. How can I, go against that person? How can I do that? It is definitely not possible for me. How much ever you beg, I cannot be of any help because Krishna and Balaram, they are the supreme lords and I cannot be of any help to you before them. So this is the point. And then now that he went to Kritavarma, he should also go to Akrura, right? And Akrura, somehow he knew, okay, he's also a devotee of the Lord. And so anyways, he went to him also. He appealed. Satadanva went to Akrura and begged him for protection. Oh, Akrura, please help me. And Akrura told him, who would oppose the two personalities of Godhead knowing their strength? Who in this world will oppose them? Nobody. He is the Supreme Lord who creates, maintains, and destroys this universe. And so this is definitely not possible. Their strength is incomparable. And anybody who is foolish only will oppose them. So this is what Akrura said. And he also said, see, as a child, what did Krishna do? Krishna, he uprooted the entire mountain. And he picked up the mountain as if like a child would pick up the mushroom and lift it up. That is what he did when he was 7 years old. He was talking about the episode of Govardhan Hill. So I actually offer my obeisances to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose every deed is amazing. He is the super soul. He is the unlimited source. He is the center of all existence. This is what Akrura said. And Akrura also rejected the appeal of Satadanva. And he fled on a horse that could travel 100 yojanas. So Satadanva is now believed. He has this jewel and he now left he left it in the care of Akrura because he thought that Akrura is the devotee of the Lord. It's better to be under his care. And so he left the jewel with him. And then he had this special horse which has the capability of running hundreds of miles in emergency. It can go very, very fast. So, and can go hundreds of miles. And what happened was, the horse went with great difficulty all the way from Dwaraka to the outskirts of Mithila. And because of exhaustion, it died. So the horse couldn't move any further, but it came all the way from Dwaraka to Mithila. And Krishna and Balarama, they persuaded Satadhanva, the killer of their father-in-law, Satrajit. And then in the garden on the outskirts of Mithila, they saw that Satadhanva's horse was collapsed. So now Satadhanva, he abandoned the horse and he began to flee on foot. And Krishna, he also fled on foot. I mean, he also went in foot because he doesn't want to, if he doesn't have any kind of a carrier, then why should he, Krishna have? So Satadhanva and the Supreme Lord, they were both going on foot. And at that time, Krishna actually cut off the head with his disc upon Satadhanva. The Lord then searched Satadhanva's upper and lower garments for the Syamantaka jewel. Of course, he made a show of searching. He knows he's the all-knower, right? He was just making, Balaram was observing it from a distance. And again, he wanted Balaram to spend some time in Mithila with his pure devotee, the king of Mithila. And so he was performing this act just to confuse Balaram. Okay, that is what our Acharyas comment. And he was doing this act. He cut off his head and then he was looking for acting as if he was searching for the Syamantaka jewel. And not finding the Syamantaka jewel, he told his elder brother and said, "Oh, we have killed Satadhanva, but it's useless. The jewel is not here. What's the point? We have killed him." So to this, Balaram replied, "Satadhanva must have placed this jewel under the care of someone. We should return to our city and find that person." Okay, so this is what Balaram said. Indirectly, he's also pointing out to Lord Krishna, you must have given it to you or somebody. I mean, we don't know who that person is. We have to find that person out. So then what happened was, so Balaram, he happened to spend time in Mithila, as I told you, with the king of Mithila. And then he was having some good exchanges with the king. The king honored him and offered him with elaborate worship according to scriptural injunctions. So now Keshava, that is Lord Krishna, he appeared to Dwaraka. He arrived in Dwaraka and he described the demise of Satadhanva and his own failure to find the Syamantaka jewel. So he actually told this in order to please his wife Satyabhama, right? Satyabhama should know about this because this guy Satadhanva was the one who killed his father, and Krishna wanted to pass on this message that, see, I tell you, Satadhanva is killed, he is no more, and I couldn't find the Syamantaka jewel because Syamantaka jewel is not with him anymore. And Krishna then had various, the Lord, what happened was after that, Akrura and Kirtavarma, right? They originally incited Satadhanva to commit this crime, heard that he was killed, and they fled Dwaraka in terror and took up the residence elsewhere. Because obviously Krishna, he killed them, and now they also fled from Dwaraka. In Akrura's absence, what happens was all the ill movements arose in Dwaraka. The citizens began to suffer from physical and mental distress. And then there were a lot of disturbances that were happening in the earthly planet. See, wherever Lord Krishna is, where is the question of distress? See, Krishna is making all this distress happen just to reinstate the fact that this is all happening due to the absence of Akrura. But in reality, wherever Krishna is present, nothing is going to happen or touch. What calamity can arise in the abode of Lord Krishna, who is the shelter of all sages? Nothing can happen. And hearing this, what happened was the elders, they wanted to bring Akrura back. Akrura's absence is the cause of this calamity. But Krishna thinks to himself, my own desire is the real cause. And then he wants Akrura back from Kashi. To devise that, he's actually creating these ill moments, because the elders will then request, oh, bring Akrura. And then he will go and get an opportunity to bring Akrura from Kasi. So that's why he's creating this evil moments. And Krishna, he honored Akrura and greeted him. So Akrura, he was in Kashi and he was doing all this charity because of in Kashi, he was doing a lot of charity because of the Syamantaka jewel with him. And now Lord Krishna, he honored Akrura, greeted him confidentially, and he spoke some words to him. So Syamantaka jewel was left under your care by Satadhanva, and it's still with you. Indeed, I know this long back also. I know you are the one who's having it. You know, what is the thing? Why are you so afraid of me? I know everything. Whatever has happened, I know. Akrura, why are you feeling, why are you acting in this way as if you're afraid of me? What is the reason? I am the Supreme Lord, and you know that I know what is going on with you. I know you had this Syamantaka jewel that was given by Satadanva to you, and I know this all along. And what's going on in your heart? Why are you fearing me? And now, what happened was Satrajit, he had no sons, right? Now, he has only one daughter, that is Satyabhama. So whatever his inheritance is, it should go to his daughter Satyabhama, right? Whatever is the inheritance of Satrajit's inheritance should go to who? That is daughter Satyabhama. And so he's saying, I mean, when in fact he was being offered, right? I mean, whatever he was offered as inheritance should go to Satyabhama. That is being clarified here. And that is according to Smriti scriptures. It is the inheritance should go to the wife. Then when the wife is passed away, it should go to the daughters, and then to the brothers, then to the brothers' sons, and then to the family members of the Gotra as the deceased. So this is what is the hierarchy. So nevertheless, the jewel should remain in your care, O trustworthy Akrura, because since my elder brother, so what happens is, I don't want this to be passed on to anybody. I think this jewel, Syamantaka jewel, should remain with you, Akrura. What is the reason? You are the trustworthy person, and you will take care of it safely. So what happens is, my elder brother, Balaram, he doesn't fully believe that whatever I have told him about it, he has to believe. Only by seeing the jewel, he will believe that this jewel was with you. So I have to go and show him, and then pacify my relatives also, so that everybody knows that this is something that you have, and that this jewel is with you. So I need to physically show this jewel to them, and then I should tell them that this is under the care of Akrura, so that all the false rumors about me, that will all go away by showing this jewel to everyone. So can I please have this jewel to show it to people, my relatives, my brothers, and everybody else, so that they can see this brilliant gem that is shown like a sun. Then what happened was, Akrura, he gave the jewel to Krishna. Krishna touched it with his hands, and then he showed it to his relatives, whoever had false notion about Krishna having the jewel. I mean, he made him believe that it was Akrura who had the jewel and not him. So he showed it to everybody, and then he returned it to Akrura. So this is what is the episode. And whoever has heard this episode is going to be bestowed with a lot of things. Bestowed all auspiciousness. They are going to be removed of sinful actions. So this will drive away all infamy and sins, and one will attain peace. This is the Palashruti our Acharyas have quoted. So Akrura is a trustworthy person. We should learn that because Krishna gave it to his trustworthy devotee, because this person, Akrura, doesn't use it for his own benefit, but instead he performs sacrifices even in Kashi on the altars of gold. In Kashi also, when he was there, he performed so many austerities, so many sacrifices. And when this 170 pounds of golds were coming out, all this was donated in charity to the people of Kashi. So Krishna, he trusted that this devotee, Akrura, is going to be a trustworthy person, and he should be the one who should keep this Syamantaka jewel. Okay. So that is the episode of Satrajit's murder and how the jewel was returned. And with this, I think, hope you understood the story. Any questions, any comments, any realizations that you have from the story?
I have a question, Mataji.
Yes, Shreya.
Where does the Syamantaka jewel go now?
It's going to Akrura now, because he's a trustworthy person. Krishna has told him that you can take care of it. And I believe that you can, because he knows that devotee of the Lord, Akrura, is not going to use for his own sense gratification, but will be used for the benefit of all the citizens.
I meant like right now, where is it still on
right.
Earth?
I don't think so, dear. I think when Krishna has gone, all his paraphernalia and all the things that are associated with Lord Krishna also goes away. I don't think there is any display of the Syamantaka jewel in the city of Dwaraka, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Any other questions, comments? Okay, can we end the call then? I think we can do. I know I'm just over by 10 minutes, but I just wanted to complete it and not leave it abruptly. Okay, that is the reason. Sorry again for taking your time. So Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasantubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Closing the call. Hari Bol.
Bye.
Bye bye, Mataji.